Hello everyone. In the last lecture, we discussed about a different type of logic gates, which are the building blocks for the combinational logic circuits. So, generally, a combinational circuit is a circuit whose output variables depends on the input variables. Whereas in sequential logic circuits, output will be depending on input states, but also will depends on the previous outputs. That means in sequential logic there is a memory component, but in combinational logic there is no memory elements. The output will only depending on the input circuits. So the output of the combinational circuits depends on the combination of input variables given. Generally, it is a logic circuit with different logic gates integrated in a circuit. It doesn't use any memory. As the output is depends only on the input combination and it doesn't depend on any previous state input. The previous state input has no effects on the output. So this is here you see the basic building block for the block diagram of a combinational circuits. So you can see here there are n input variables and there are m number of output variables. So the output of the combinational circuit at any instant of time depend only on the number of inputs given here, and it does not use any memory element. Here you see different combinational logic circuits, so which can be broadly classified into three categories. The first one is the arithmetic and logical functions, the second one is the data transmissions, and third one is the code converters. So in this unit you will be learning about these two arithmetic and logic functions, that is the adders and subtractors, and we will also study about these data transmission functional units such as the multiplexers, demultiplexers, encoders and decoders. So in the next few slides, today we are going to discuss about the adders and subtractors, and especially the half adders and half subtractor, the full adder and full subtractor. An adder is a digital logic circuit in electronics that implements addition of numbers. So in many computers and other type of processors, adders are used to calculate the addresses, similar operations and table indices in the arithmetic and logic unit, and also in other part of the processor. So when you are writing a programs, you will be writing in different memory addresses. So if you want to add addresses from one number to another, we wanted to use some type of adders. So it can be broadly classified into two types. One is called the half adder and other one is called the full adder. So the half adder circuit has two inputs, generally A and B, which add two input digits and generate a carry and sum. So these two inputs will be a single bit numbers and you'll get sum and carry. Whereas in full adder there are three inputs. So the A, B and C, which add the three input numbers and generate a carry and sum. So this the third number, that will be the carry generated from the lower digit, that will be added on to uh, the two numbers, that A and B. And half adder is a combinational logic circuit with two inputs and two outputs. As you see here, the A and B are the inputs and you have two output, one is called the sum and other one is the carry. The important point about half adder is that it is used to add two single bit numbers, that is one thing, and it does not take carry from previous sum. So if you are adding two bits A and B, A is having a single bit number and B is also having a single bit number. So it is the basic building block for addition of two single bit numbers. So here you see in this particular figure, the block diagram, you see there are two inputs A and B, and you get the sum and carry outputs. So you basically want to see what is inside this box. So what forms the sum and carry? For that, you see these examples. So this particular truth table where we have two inputs A and B, and you are adding two single bit numbers. So since you are adding two single bit numbers, we can basically have four combinations. The first combination is that A and B are zeros, 0 0, and the second combination is 0 1, then 1 0, and 1 and 1. So when you are adding 0 and 0, the sum will be 0. So before you are doing this one, you supposed to learn about the binary additions and subtractions, and I suppose that you are already learned this one. And when you are adding 0 and 0, the sum will be 0, and there is no carry. There is no carry generated. In the second case, when you are adding 0 and 1, you will get the sum as 1. 0 plus 1 will be 1, and there is no carry. So when you are adding 1 and 0, again you will get sum as 1, but there is no carry. Finally, if you are adding 1 and 1, the sum will be 0, and there is a carry 1. I think you might have learned this one in your binary additions. That is because when you are adding 1 and 1, there is only one single bit to represent your sum. So 1 plus 1 in binary is 2, that is 1 0. So the first digit is that is 0, that is the lowest significant digit that is represented here, and the carry, there is a carry which is 1. So these are the four combinations. So here you see that the sum will be 0 1 1 0. So when you are adding 0 and 0 0, when you are adding 0 1 1, when you are adding 1 and 0, it is 1, but when you are adding 1 and 1, the sum is 0. So you want to see how you can logically create these particular combinations. For that, you need to know about the basic logic gates. That's why I have given you an introduction to different type of logic gates. So you will get high output for odd number of input ones. So that corresponds to which logic gates? That is XOR gate. So when you have odd number of odd combination of input ones, if you are getting output high, that means it is corresponds to XOR gate, provided when you have even number of 1 or both input 0, your output is 0. So this is corresponds to the XOR gate. So the sum in the case of adder circuit, the half adder circuit, corresponding to the XOR operation between the inputs. So we basically can represent the summation as XOR A XOR B, and that is here. There is a mistake because I represented X and Y, but in these inputs here we used A and B, but logically it should have been A XOR B. So sum is A XOR B. Similarly, we can see here the carry output is 0 0 0 1. So carry is high only when both inputs are high. So that corresponds to which logic gate? That is AND gate. So AND is having output high only when the output high when both inputs are higher. All other combination of inputs it is giving low. So that corresponds to the AND gate. So logically, we can create the output of the half adder circuit, that is the building blocks of this one, using an XOR gate as well as an AND gate. So this is the corresponding Boolean expressions where sum is equal to a bar b. So here I wrongly put xy. It should have been a bar b or a b bar, that is a XOR b. Similarly, the carry is a and b. So this has to be a and b. So we can represent this one, the summation, as a XOR b and carry as a and b. So this is the corresponding Boolean expressions. So unlike the half adder circuit, the full adder circuit has three inputs. So we have the a b, that is the inputs given, plus there is another one, that is the carry input from the previous state. So you'll get the output summation as the sum of these three inputs, the A, B as well as the carry input. So that we represented in this truth table as C in. So here is you see the three inputs. So when A is equal to 0, B is equal to 0 and C in is equal to 0, the sum is 0 and carry output is also 0. So when A 0, B 0 and carry input is 1, so 0 plus 0 plus 1, the sum is 1 and there is no carry generated. So in the third case, when A is 0, B 1 and C in 0, 0 plus 1 plus 0, so that means the sum is 1 but the carry output is again 0. In third case, 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2. That means sum is 0 and carry is 1. In the fourth case, the fifth case, 1 plus 0 is 1 plus 0 is 1. So the sum is 1, carry is 0. Next case, 1 plus 0 is 1 plus 1 is 2. So that means sum is 0 and there is a carry generated 1. Similarly, 1 plus 1 is 2, that is plus 0, that is 2. That means sum is 0, carry is 1. In the final case, 1 plus 1 is 1 0 plus 1. So that is 1 1. So the sum is 1 and carry output is also 1. So here you can see that the sum output is equal to 1 only when there is an odd combination of ones at the inputs. So when there is 1 1 or 3 ones at the inputs, you will get some high, and so that is one case. So in the carry output has carry 1 if 2 or 3 inputs are equal to 1. So here it is 1 only when 2 or uh, 2 or 3 inputs are 1. So that case only the C out will be 1. So as we created the logic circuit of half adder circuit, we want to know what is inside this full adder logic circuit. For that, we need to create logic expressions. So the Boolean expressions as well as the Boolean circuit based on these particular combinations. So it has been seen that so this is corresponds to XOR operations. So we have the output higher state for odd combination of ones means is an XOR gate. So in this case there are XOR of 3 units, A XOR B XOR C in, that is the sum. So similarly the carry is corresponds to A and B or A XOR B and Z in. So this one, so we can create so there are two XOR operations in the sum and there is one XOR operations as well as OR gate and AND gates in the case of C out. So we can create a full adder circuit using two half adder units. As you see here, this is the first half adder units, and the two inputs A and B is given to these two half adder unit, and you will get the sum, that is as we seen in the case of half adder, that correspond to the sum correspond to A XOR B, and that sum is given to the input of the second half adder, and thus the third digits, so the third inputs, that is the carry input from the previous state, that is given as the second input to the second half adder, and we these two will be the sum of these two sum will of the second half adder will be the A XOR B XOR C in. So this is just like we created the sum in the case of half adder. This the input instead of A, the input here is A XOR B, and the second input to B is C in. So that forms the summation as A XOR B XOR C in, and the carry of the first half adder is given to the input of the OR gate, and the carry of the second half adder is also given to the input of the OR gate, and you will get the final C out, that is the carry output of the full adder, and it is given by A and B or A XOR B and Z in, and this is the corresponding logic gates combinations, where we give the inputs A and B to the first XOR, and the output of that one is given to the second XOR, and Cin is also going to the second XOR, and this output, that is A XOR B of the first XOR gate, is given to the input of the AND gate along with Cin, and the output of that one is given to the OR gate, and the second input to the OR gate is the AND operation between A and B. So that forms the C out and sum. So basically, in a combinational logic circuit, we know that how the binary combination, the addition and subtraction is happening. Based on that, we create the corresponding logic expressions, and we form the logic gates. So we have seen that the difference between the full adder and the full adder and half adder is that in the full adder there are three inputs, and it consider the carry input from the previous state, whereas in the case of half adder it does not count the carry input from the previous state. So it can only use for addition of two binary bits. Similarly, there is a subtractor circuit that takes two binary numbers as input and subtract one binary number input from other one, and we get the corresponding output, so that the output will be output in this case will be the difference. So instead of sum, we will get the difference as well as the borrow. So instead of carry, here it will be borrow, and we get difference and borrow. So basically this is used for subtraction between two or three binary bits, just like the adder circuit. The half subtractor is used to subtract two binary bits, two single bit numbers, and you get one difference and one borrow, whereas in full subtractor there will be three inputs, and the first two bits corresponds to two binary numbers, and the third one, that corresponds to the previous state. So that is the inputs from the previous state. As you hear, that will be borrow from the previous states. So in half subtractor, it doesn't consider the borrow input from the previous state, whereas in full subtractor we get we consider the borrow generated in the borrow generated from the previous state. Hence, the binary subtractor is a decision-making circuit that produces the difference between two binary bits at the input, and also produce an output which is called the borrow, to indicate if a one has been borrowed. In the subtraction between A and B, A is called the minuend and B is called the subtrahend bit. This is the basic rules governing subtraction between two digits. That is, if you are subtracting 0 from 0, the output will be 0, as well as if you subtract 1 plus 1 from 1 is, the output is also will be 1. Sorry, if you are subtracting 1 from 1, the output will be 0, and if you are subtracting 0 from 1, output will be 1. So subtracting 1 plus 1 and 0 plus 0, from 0, the output will be 0, and if you are subtracting 1 0 from 1, the output will be 1, as you see here. And if you are subtracting 1 from 0, the output will be, there is a borrow. So the output will be, there is a borrow will be generated. So we need to borrow 1 from the previous state, so that 1 0 minus 1, the output will be 1. Difference is 1, also borrow will be 1. So these are the rule. If you are subtracting 0, 0 minus 0 is 0, 1 minus 0 is 1, 1 0 minus 1 is 1. So 1 0 means 2 in binary unit. This one is 2, 2 minus 1 is 1. So 1 minus 1 is 0. So as explained earlier, a half subtractor is a combinational logic circuit used to subtract two single bit numbers. So here A and B are two single bit numbers, and you get the difference as well as borrow. So this is the truth table. In order to see what is the logic gates, logic diagram of this particular block, we need to consider the corresponding truth table. And if you are these are the inputs A, B. So 0, if you are subtracting 0 from 0, difference is 0, borrow is also 0. If you are subtracting 1 from 0, so that means you are subtracting 1 from 0. So that means you cannot directly subtract this one. You need to borrow 1. You need to borrow 1 here. So that means there is a borrow. So borrow is 1. And 1 0 minus 1 will be 1. So in this case, the difference is 1 as well as borrow is 1. Now we are subtracting 0 from 1. So the difference is 1. There is no borrow. And if you are subtracting 1 from 1, the difference is 0 as well as borrow is also 0. So in order to see the combination of logic gates required for difference, again you can see that output is 1 only for the odd number combination of input ones. So that is correspond to the XOR gate. So you can generate the difference bit between two inputs by simply using an XOR gate. And for borrow, you can see that output is 0, 1 only when A is 0, B is equal to 1. So you can simply make the corresponding logic combinations, the Boolean expression for this, that is B is equal to 1 when, so we need to complement this one, A bar or A complement and B. So A complement means 0 becomes 1. So 1 and 1 is 1. So only that combination you will get borrow. So you can simply make this is the corresponding Boolean expressions. Difference is equal to A XOR B and borrow is equal to A bar and B. So this is the corresponding logic diagram. So these are the two inputs A and B, and the difference you get is XOR between these two inputs, and this is the difference. And for getting the borrow, we need to use an additional NOT gate here. So this become A complement, and this is AND gated with B, and you get the borrow output. So this is the difference and borrow. So this is the logic gate logic diagram for the half subtractor circuit. So just like in the case of half adder, which only consider 2 bits and it does not consider carry input from the previous state, just like that the half subtractor has limitation because it only used to subtract two single bit numbers. So it does not count the borrow in from the previous circuit. But in the real case scenario, it involves subtracting multiple numbers of bit, and we also need to consider the borrow from the previous state. So we need to have a full subtractor, which will use which consider the borrow in from the previous state. So which we'll discuss in the next slide. So in the case of full subtractor, there is a combination of logic circuit that is used to for subtracting more than two inputs, two single bit numbers, and which also consider borrow of the lower significant state. So basically there are three inputs, and these are the A and B are the inputs, and B in is the borrow in from the lower significant stage. So we see this truth table. So just like the binary subtraction rule, the 0 minus 0 will be 0, and again you are subtracting 0 from 0, the output borrow output will be 0, and the difference will be 0. Second case, you are subtracting 0 from 0, it is 0, and again you are subtracting 1, so that means 0 minus 1. So you need to have a borrow, you need to borrow 1 here, so that there is a borrow 1, borrow is 1, and 1 0 minus 1, the output will be, difference will be 1, and here 0 minus 1, so you need to have a borrow here, so borrow is 1, so that will be 1 0 minus 1 is 1, so difference is 1, 1 minus 0 1, so difference 1, borrow 1. Here 0 minus 1, so that means you need to borrow is 1, and it is 1, 1 0 minus 1, it is 1, again you are subtracting 1 minus 1, so the difference becomes 0, but there is a borrow. In this case 1 minus 0 is 1, minus 0 1, so difference is 1, there is no borrow used. Here 1 minus 0 1, that minus 1, so that difference is 0, there is no borrow involved. Here 1 minus 1 0, 0 minus 0 0, so that means difference 0, there is no borrow. Here 1 minus 1, it is 0, 0 minus 1 means we need to have borrow, and 1 0 minus 1 is 1, difference is 1, borrow output is 1. So based on this combination, we need to find out what is the logic diagram for this full subtractor. So you can see that this is giving 1 only when there is an odd number of 1 inputs, or the difference is 1 only when there is an odd number of ones at the inputs, so either 1 or 3 number of ones at the inputs. That means difference is an XOR operation between these three inputs. So difference is A XOR B XOR B in, and you can see the corresponding borrow combination. You can see that this is the corresponding ones. So in the previous module, in the unit, you will find out the K-map. In order to simplify this logic diagram, the logic expression for this corresponding output, you will learn about the K-map, and this is the corresponding simplified output. That is, the borrow output is equal to A complement and B in, or A complement and B, or B and B in. So this is the corresponding borrow output. So we can create the logic diagram of full subtractor circuit using this particular expressions, where we can use a single XOR gate with 3 inputs to generate the difference between these two bits and we can use a NOT gate here, and the corresponding combination of these inputs along with these AND gates, and the output of the AND gates is given to the input of the OR gates to form this corresponding combination. So this is the corresponding logic gates diagram which is supposed to be inside this full subtractor circuit. So the half subtractor is used to subtract two single bit numbers, whereas the full subtractor is used to subtract three inputs, where the third input is the borrow in from the lower significance stage, which will consider also that particular borrow in state. So this is used for subtracting bits with multiple bits.